Up on a 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. This will be caught downfield by Moore. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 39 yards there, a big one.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
Walker now on 1st and 10. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Extra point early and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. This fielded right at the goal line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw taken in by Ridley here. That'll go for a gain of 7. And they're going to have a 3rd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, you know, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, you know, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try to...
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
From the 35 on second down, Jackson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Now Jackson on first down. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
To throw again on second down. Jackson. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to give it to Ridley. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
And he returns this to the 22. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now Dobbins again on second down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after one. Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him. And I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He'll look to throw. This one goes underneath to Walker. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And they'll use him out of the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Looked like a pretty smart decision that time to keep the football by the quarterback.
It was, because you saw how the runner got swarmed. So you got to pull the ball from his arms, keep it yourself, and get what you can. And the most underrated player on this play is the running back. Because even if he doesn't have the ball, he has to act like he does in order to attract the defense.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Ready?
Dixie Bison.
Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, here's Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Sanders is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gotten right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now left side on the swing pass. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
Well, that was big right there, because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way. There
were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks are starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Jackson from the shotgun. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So the 2 teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 55 rushing yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is fielded at the 7. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Ready. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Ready. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Running right, here's Walker. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
A give for Walker running right. And he'll get about 3 there, up to the 49-yard line.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Throw out wide to Walker. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Back to throw. This pass caught by Hamler. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Back to throw here. Touchdown! Sky Moore, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have opened the lead up to 30. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Right where this setup down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And they're going option play on 3rd down. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here we go, here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And I actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the 3rd quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the 4th quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Tiger. Cowboy 80.
On second down, it's Walker. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
It's caught by Davis. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. He's got room at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 32.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page, because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And this offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Another run here with Dobbins. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. They're going for it with Dobbins. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips? Gain level.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he's got it as the score is now 31-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
And the Dolphins are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Dolphins, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Why would I ever have to cop a chain again when the QB chain birth most of chains in the game? No post office, we stamping time. Took a slice out of the big apple, made apple pies, family size. Leather bombers and Nike Sacai's, dangerous corners. You better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet.